So, Adrian, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's been an absolute privilege watching your career grow over the last few years, and now you're back with a brand new single. So I was wondering if you could tell our listeners a little bit about the single and what it's called.
Cool. It's good to be back, Dave. It's awesome to be back, and the new single's called Narrative, and it's been kicking around for a while, and I think last year in December I decided to finish it, like as in just sit down and arrange it and finish it, and just sort of, finish it.
So what was it? What was it inspiring you with this track?
Inspiring? Well, clearly it's called Narrative because I had been running some scripts in my head. Like this has probably not really much to do with music, but just a life script, stuff you say in your head. And I was kind of taking inventory of what was serving me and what wasn't. I've been trying to make a couple of improvements here and there, and in my playing and in a lot of areas, and I was just feeling that sort of, bit of the darkness, and I wanted to acknowledge it, shine a light on it, and then it disappears, just sort of get that and personify it with the music, in the structure and sort of the key, the rhythms and things like that. It's got a pretty lush kind of intro and that sort of stuff. It's just, you're trying to personify your feelings with this whole music thing, right?
Yeah. You mentioned that you came back to this track to finish it off. Is that something that you find happens a lot with your music, where you'll start a song and then have to come back to it later?
Yeah, and it's also in a folder where this one didn't make the cut for the EP, The Reptile Mind. So even though there's 3 tracks on it, I wasn't able to finish it then and there. And yes, I do come back to a lot of tracks and sort of build them up, and it's always fun. Sometimes daunting, but mostly fun. There's a lot of these tracks kicking around, and when I have the resources to sort of go further with them, like get in the room with a drummer, and then I'm like, yep, I'm going to finish it. It's sort of like that, I guess. Yeah.
There's a lot going on with this track as well. There's acoustic guitars, and then going into a riff, and there's synths and everything with this one. Was it a difficult track to record?
Yes, in terms of just like, because it's me playing bass and me playing guitar, and it's quite annoying, and you can't be objective after like the first 4 what do I say, takes? You know what I mean? Like there's this nice how do I say, a Goldilocks zone of tracking, and then after that it's all crap, like it's just, you get tired, and thank God. It's kind of one of the reasons I don't have vocals. That'd be really difficult to sort of put in there, your body gets tired, the human machine gets tired, so it was difficult to record cleanly and just getting the right takes and the vibes and all that stuff, so it was pretty difficult for me, it was.
Now, your brilliant EP, The Reptile Mind, kind of came out in the middle of the whole pandemic. What's happened with your career since then? Because I would imagine it's been pretty difficult to get out and do shows and things like that.
Yeah, well, I went to, did you go to the Uncaged Festival a while back?
Yep.
You were there? Awesome. So I went there to watch I Built the Sky.
Yep.
He was playing, they were playing at like, I think 12:30. So I had some lunch beers. It was weird. It was weird going to a show, and I've been trying to adjust to that, like simply being an attendee. I'm going to another show tonight at the Jazz Lab, and it's been really cool. During the pandemic, it was good because, for me in particular, because I had time and focus and resources coming in. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, okay, it's full. I saw the road was clear, and I just really hit the gas in terms of my own work productivity and stuff. Right now, it's a bit difficult because you're kind of expected to be at 100% whilst trying to recover mentally from something that's almost like a figment of our imagination now.
Yeah.
So it's strange. It's strange that whiplash from that event is still present in my mind. So it's interesting, yeah.
Now, bringing it back to this awesome new track, you've got a great video clip for it as well that was filmed by Sam Tan. And I believe that you headed off to the Victorian Alps to film it. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Oh, man. So one of Sam's mates tipped us off on this great location, right? And I looked at it online. There's not much of it on, not much footage on Mount Buffalo online. There's a couple of vloggers and stuff doing that. So I looked at it through their perspective, and all of their clips, all of their footages had really clear weather, and it's quite amazing when you look at it. You go up there and you see the scale of this thing. It's going to affect you, whether you're. It's just the scale of it, the brilliance of it. You're like, wow. We went there, and it was zero visibility. There was ice on the road, and the road is so narrow. It was a 5-hour drive there. I think anywhere from 4.5 to 5.
Yeah.
And it was so cold, man. All our gear was soaked, and I've got my guitar, and Sam's got his cameras, and we had another mate with us. We couldn't have done it as a 2-man crew. It was crazy, man. And I'm not built for cold weather, so it was double crazy. And yeah, but it was still pretty interesting. I've never been up so high, and yeah, the air is a lot thinner up there, and I felt very winded.
Yeah.
Whilst filming, and I didn't realize you had to take deep breaths. It's only a week later. I was watching a random video, and they were talking about mountain climbing by chance, and they're like, make sure you take very deep breaths because it's very thin air, and I felt it was horrible, but I'm very, very pleased with the results.
The result looks absolutely amazing, and I love in your press release it says that it was almost alien-like, because that's how it does look.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it's something like out of Prometheus.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Prometheus, but it's a very similar thing to it. And I was like, okay, the pain was worth it. Yeah. Very, very alien-like, yeah.
And now you've also got some amazing artwork that also goes with this single as well. Tell us a little bit about the artist that you worked with for the artwork for the single.
Right, Ash Dark. Her name's Ash Dark, D-A-R-Q. And I've been wanting to work with her. Well, first off, I connected with her in lockdown through our mutual love for the band Tool. And it was in a hashtag that I found her whilst doing my art work for the last release. And I was just like, whoa, she's very confident in her work and very skilled in her work. And it's sort of dark surrealism is what I think she specializes in. Melbourne-based, and I've been wanting to work with her for a while, post my Reptile Mind release. And she reached out to me first, and she used one of my tracks from the last EP, and she's like, I hope you don't mind. I was like, really? I don't mind at all. And we started talking, so I put together a little sort of concept on sort of the emotional kind of curve, the mood board for this thing, and we synced up on a lot of stuff, value-wise, and it was sort of where she was at too, interesting enough. And yeah, we hit it off in that sense, and it's an actual physical painting, a framed physical painting that she's done UV stuff to as well. So under UV light, it'll pop and come out at you, and I'm picking that up I think next week, so I'm very excited. And she's an absolute weapon. She's amazing at what she does. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Now, for all of the listeners out there, the brand new single Narrative, the YouTube video premieres on Saturday, May 28th, and you'll be able to grab the track off streaming platforms on May 29th. Adrian, what have you got planned for after that? What does the rest of the year look like for you?
Gather resources and keep recording music. I just want to keep putting music out there and connect with the people who connect with it, and play shows after the music is out there. Yeah.
Awesome. So to finish off, what would you like to say to our listeners out there before they take a listen to the track for the first time over the weekend?
Enjoy it. I hope you dig, and I play it really loud, like really crank it up.